What's up, gals and pals? It's your buddy Coach Vino. So it is time for another episode of my Fall in Amore with Amaro series. And like I did last week when I brought you guys 2 cocktails using Aperol, this week I'm gonna make 2 more cocktails using that Amaro subcategory of the aperitivo. Okay, an aperitivo is something that you would consume prior to eating just to kind of stimulate the appetite, you know? And I'm gonna be using what is easily the most famous of all Italian bitter liqueurs, Campari. Now, if you have never heard of Campari, then you are living under quite a large rock. You know, Campari is most famously used in the Negroni and all those fantastic Negroni riffs. Specifically, for me, it is the Bouvardier. I love the Bouvardier. But Campari is very, very diverse. As a matter of fact, it's even used in some classic tiki cocktails like the Jungle Bird. Now, one of my favorite ways to actually pair Campari, because it's very, very bitter, is with coffee flavor. Now, coffee is also very bitter, and when you put them together, for some reason, I gotta tell you, it works really, really well. As a matter of fact, I made a video not too long ago where I made 3 cocktails that used Campari and coffee liqueur. I'm gonna leave that link down in the description so you guys go ahead and check it out, okay? So anyway, like I said, I'm gonna make you guys 2 cocktails that I've never had before using Campari, and I got both of these cocktails from my favorite cocktail blog, the Cocktail Virgin from Frederick Yarm. It's a fantastic resource, and the guy has some amazing recipes. You should definitely go ahead and check that out, right, guys? So before I do that, though, I'm gonna need you guys to go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and that notification bell so you can help Vino feed the hungry algorithm, and make sure you stick around because we're about to boogie down. All right, guys, so the first Campari cocktail that I'm gonna make for you guys is called Lost and Found, and it comes to us all the way from Brazil at a bar called Dandelion. Let us look at what is in the sauce, okay? Of course, we're gonna be using our Campari, and then we're gonna use some Averna. So we're gonna have another Amari up in here, which is always exciting. Never have enough Amari in a cocktail. And then we're gonna wanna use a high proof rye. You just make sure you get a little bit of that bite in the cocktail. And then we're gonna put some lemon juice in here, shake that bad boy up, and we're gonna have ourselves a cocktail. Let's go ahead and make this bad boy. All right, so for our second Campari cocktail, we're gonna make a little something called Ricky Bobby Burns. And this one comes to us from Backbar in Massachusetts, all right? Let us look at what is in the sauce. Of course, we're gonna use our Campari, but I'm really excited about this next ingredient because we're gonna be using my favorite of Amaro's, the one and only Cynar. If you don't got this stuff, you absolutely should go out there and get it, okay? We're also gonna be using one of my favorite liqueurs as well, which is Benedictine. So you're gonna get some really nice honey and some nice spice on that, so that's really, really fun. And then for our base spirit, we're gonna be using some blended Scotch, and I'm gonna be using Isla Mist, but you guys can go ahead and use whatever you have, right? And we're also gonna be doing a Mezcal Rinse with our glass, and I got my little atomizer here, so I'm gonna be using that, and we're gonna have ourselves a cocktail, right, folks? So let's go ahead and make this bad boy. All right, so let's go ahead and give both of our Campari cocktails a sippy sip. We'll start with the shaken one, which is the Lost and Found. And again, this one has Campari and Averna. Really interested to see how those two work together along with the high proof bourbon, rye. Cheers. Now, the color is really interesting on this one. That's an unusual color, especially for a shaken cocktail. Reminds me a little bit of the Eclipse cocktail in terms of the color. Cheers. That's really nice. That's really nice. I gotta be honest with you, I was a little concerned that there wasn't gonna be enough bite from the base because it's only an ounce of bourbon, or an ounce of rye, then you got an ounce and a half of the two liqueurs. But you know, because the Campari is bitter, it does help to actually keep it from coming across as too sweet. Of course, you've got the lemon juice in there, which helps as well. Let me give it another sip. That's nice. I gotta tell you, it's an easy drinking cocktail. Nothing stands out too much. The Campari definitely helps to add a little bit of bitterness, complexity to it. The Averna acts more as a kind of like a mellowing factor there. It gives some depth, some kind of richness to the cocktail as well. It's a nice little sip, right? I gotta be honest with you, I like it, it's good. Okay, anyway, now let's try our Ricky Bobby Burns. Cheers. This is our third cocktail. Okay, so right in the nose, you're getting the smokiness from the mezcal. On the palate, you're getting more of that smoke between the mezcal and then the Scotch. And the Isla Mist is a bit of a smokier one because it has some Isla Scotch in it. If you're not into these smoky kind of peaty flavors, you're not gonna dig this one probably, but I gotta tell you, I think it's really delicious, guys. I like it. That is a fine nightcap, guys. I mean, it is really just super big, complex, the bitterness, the smokiness, and then you get the spiciness from the Drambuie. I'm actually getting that really on the second go round. Very nice cocktail. I gotta tell you, this is a very delicious cocktail, guys. All right, so look, two very different styles. I mean, this one is a much, I would say, kind of, you know, an easier drinking sip. Not too much complexity, but it does have a nice feel in the mouth, and it does have a bit of the depth to it, which I like. You know, I do like that. And then this one here is just much bigger, much bolder. The smoke, the spice, the bitterness. So it's really more in your face, but still, again, very delicious. So, you know, look, when you get Campari, you don't know what you're gonna get, but fortunately, you know, because it's such a pronounced spirit. But fortunately, in this case here, two very nice cocktails. I think you guys would absolutely enjoy them. Okay, guys? So anyway, look, if you enjoyed today's video, please press like, please subscribe, and please share with your family and friends. Remember, sharing is caring, and when life gives you lemons, make yourself a cocktail. Cheers.